I thought it would be a problem, but whatever. I don't know how everyone else is.
guy. Type work, baby. Type work.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome, family and friends, to the 117th graduation of Henry Clay High School. 117. I am Paul Little, Jr., the principal of Henry Clay High School. I first want to thank everyone who worked so hard to make this ceremony possible. And in keeping with tradition, I would like to ask all past graduates of Henry Clay High School to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our stage guests. Dr. Demetrius Liggins, Superintendent. Dr. James McMillan, Director of High Schools. Ms. Amy Green, Board of Education Vice Chair. Ms. Stephanie Spires, Board of Education Member. Ms. Laura Donovan, Associate Principal. Mr. Chad Carpenter, Associate Principal. Dr. Jay Allen, Associate Principal. Mr. Demetrius Gay, Dean of Students. Ms. Catherine Ann Rucavina, Senior Class President. Ms. Genesis Pena Lozado, Graduating Senior. Ms. Maggie Ferguson, Graduating Senior. Ms. Cherry Higdon, Retiring Teacher. Ms. Laura Thompson, Retiring Teacher. Mr. Josh Edwards, Counselor. Ms. Denise Miner, Senior Class Sponsor. And Mr. Tyler Murphy, Board of Education Chairman. We would like to take a moment to also mention the other Board of Education members who aren't with us today, Ms. Christy Morris and Mr. Tom Jones. Now I would like to introduce Catherine Ann Rucavina, our Senior Class President. After Catherine Ann speaks, we will have performances from the Henry Clay Chorus under the direction of Mr. Isaac Jones and the Henry Clay Band under the direction of Mr. Bill Kite.
Good morning, friends, family, faculty, and fellow graduates. Welcome. I'd like to begin the way all high school graduation speeches begin, with a quote by C.S. Lewis. He said, "There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind." It's fitting for a graduation. There's so much excitement about the future and what it holds. I look around this room and I see so much promise, so many possibilities. But today, on this occasion, celebrating what comes next, I ask you to pause for just a moment and think of what we leave behind. We have laughed, cried, driven to school 1 hour early for good parking spots, written out our own attendance notes, and occasionally ran away from teachers doing tardy sweep. In these 4 years at Henry Clay, I have met some of the most kind-hearted and generous people I will probably ever meet. So yes, there are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. But it turns out that what we leave behind is pretty good too. And what we leave behind at Henry Clay has shaped us into the people we are. People who are ready to step out into the world and make it just a little bit kinder and a little bit brighter. I am grateful for what I leave behind here. I am grateful for all of you. And with that, I would like to officially welcome all of our guests to the graduation ceremony for the Henry Clay class of 2022.
I want you to know
Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce the first of two speakers chosen to speak today by the senior class and our faculty. Please welcome first graduating senior Genesis Pena Lozado.
Welcome to the end, or maybe welcome to the beginning of the rest of our lives. I am indeed Genesis Pena Lozada, and thanks to you all, I have the privilege to be addressing the class of 2022 on this fine morning. This is a moment that's fated to become a memory, but the present would be nothing without the past. Just look around you now and take in the countless faces you see, and suddenly you feel a wave of memories crashing down on you. Some are more poignant than others because who can forget that microwave fight? Public education, you never fail to entertain. But time to get serious. If I wanted to go over all of the tomfoolery that took place in our 4 years, I have to mention a certain bathroom going up in flames too. We have a tradition of excellence at Henry Clay High School, as you can tell. But hey, look at us. The class of 2022 made it. We did it. You did it. Here you are on the precipice of what's to come. And picture this. After having run and run, tired and on the verge of giving out, you have reached the crest of a hill that once seemed unsurmountable. You're at the top of that hill with only an unwritten blue sky ahead of you. The beginning is your sky. And all that's left to do is to take that leap. But easier said than done, right? That hill you ran up became more and more familiar with every step you took. You made memories along the way, met people on your journey, and suddenly taking off and departing has become the greater challenge. The present would be nothing without the past, and it makes it all the more difficult to confront the future. Our horizons are expanding to encompass the rest of our journeys, and that's what it means to take that leap. But you don't have to forget the past. Right now, I'm thinking back to all of those wonderful memories I was given, thanks to the people that I've met on my journey thus far. My dear friends, the angels, goofballs, so-called regular weird guy, my best friend, Eric Cassini. They're here right now, and they know who they are, just as radiant now as they are in my memories. And graduation will become another memory. Hey, who said any of this would be easy? It's bittersweet, all of it. You ran up the hill, and now it's time to take flight. Still, don't be afraid to look over your shoulder and smile to yourself. Allow yourself to think back on those moments that made this moment possible. The laughter and tears, the content and contempt, the good and bad and everything in between. You're here now at an end that's also a beginning. The beginning is your sky, so take a leap. There's no reason to forget what's happened because the sky will stretch every which way, even behind you, and your journey is there to take. There's a life out there to enjoy, so enjoy it. Your memories will always be with you, like this one. It's graduation, isn't it? An end that's also a beginning. And so, class of 2022, I ask you to embrace this memory, embrace all of them. They're part of the story you're writing right now, the sky you'll be flying through in this one and only life of yours. Fly high, class of 2022. You most certainly can. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce graduating senior Maggie Ferguson.
When I first learned that I was chosen to speak at this ceremony, I sank into my chair and tried to hide from the world, groaning, rubbing my hands over my face, regretting every single decision I'd ever made. Of course, I'm extremely honored to be representing this incredibly diverse, intelligent, and resilient group of students sitting before me, but it all seemed far too daunting. Nonetheless, my goal became to write the perfect graduation speech, something original, reflective, genuine, funny, inspirational, something to encapsulate the past 4 years we spent together at Henry Clay. But every time I sat down to start writing this perfect speech, I couldn't come up with anything that spoke to me or that I thought would speak to you. It was only after plenty of crying, begging others to just do it for me, and lots of complaining that I started to understand why I was having such a hard time even beginning my speech. I realized that I couldn't stand up here preaching about how our years at Henry Clay were the best years of our lives, because it's not something I believe. But I also couldn't waste your time grumbling about how miserable my high school experience was either, because that wouldn't be the truth either. I've been anxious, depressed, and lonely, and I've laughed, smiled, and found joy. I've loved and hated, cheered and booed. I've looked forward to coming to school, and I've pretended to be sick when it all just felt like too much. We all know how hard it can be to get out of the car in the morning, knowing that all of the building will be simultaneously the hottest and the coldest it's ever been. I've lived through the lowest points and climbed right back up to my highest. I feel like we all have. There is no right way to honor our time together, but I feel like one of the purest ways for us to look back is to understand that, yeah, high school's the worst, but look at where it's gotten us. It's powerful to acknowledge how the bad has molded us into the good we now represent. Of the many things I could talk for hours and hours about, one of my favorites is joy. Happiness relies on pleasant circumstances or favorable conditions, but joy sticks around in even the worst of situations. Joy is that little beacon of hope or light or empathy or passion or however you can describe facing something difficult head on and saying, yeah, I've got this. I've been happy on and off my whole life, but the growth I've experienced here, because of you all, is how I finally found joy. We've been told our whole lives that every big change we experience is the start to a new chapter in our life. But here, where we're officially sent off into the after high school, it's the start of an entirely new book, a sequel. There'll be new characters to meet, new dreams and hopes to chase, new opportunities to root for. Pages actively being written as we step forward into what's next, whatever that means for each of us. It's weird because we've never experienced anything like it. It's absolutely terrifying, but it's also the most exciting thing we've ever done. All of us have lived different lives leading up to this moment, and we'll all head our separate ways after. But for this exact moment in time, we're all sitting, or standing, here together, united in our anxieties and excitement and uncertainty and relief. So I want to leave you with this assurance. There is way more out there for you than you could expect or imagine or dream, and you're prepared for it all, the good and the ugly. Even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. So do they. So do they. And so do they. You've accomplished something huge by being here this morning, and it can be easy to forget just how impressive graduating high school truly is. So, cheers to you, class of 2022. Absolutely no one is rooting for you to fail.
Thank you. Superintendent Dr. Liggins, I am ready to certify to you and the Fayette County Board of Education. Let me back up. I skipped the part. Thank you, graduates. Probably should have put these on. Thank you, graduates, for 4 years of hard work and dedication to Henry Clay High School. Our goal has always been to help develop outstanding citizens, and this class exemplifies that goal. Now, Superintendent Dr. Liggins, I am ready to certify to you and the Fayette County Board of Education that each of these 494 Henry Clay High School graduates seated here today have met the criteria as set forth by Fayette County Public Schools and the Kentucky Department of Education to be awarded an official diploma from Henry Clay High School.
Thank you. In my authority as Superintendent of Schools and on behalf of the Board of Education, I hereby accept these students as graduates of FCPS. Congratulations, graduates.
It is my distinct pleasure to present to you the graduating class of Henry Clay High School 2022. Presenting the class will be Ms. Laura Donovan and Mr. Chad Carpenter, assisted by Ms. Denise Miner and Dr. James J. Allen. Awarding the diplomas will be board members Ms. Amy Green and Ms. Stephanie Spires. The graduating class has asked me to employ you to honor them by not yelling or cheering while their names are being announced, so that each and every family member can hear the names of all graduates. Please do not interrupt the ceremony in any manner. At this time, will the first row please stand?
Henry Philip Adams.
Erica Abwaje.
Sayana Adhikari.
Jevin Adams.
Evan Philip Adkins.
Emily Page Atkins Hensley.
Veronique Akatoa.
Joshua Clay Atkins.
Lucia Guadalupe Alvarado Martinez.
Jamirion Allen.
Samuel Gavin Amos.
Kaisa Mbella.
Adela Andres.
Sarah Elizabeth Anderlich.
Kennedy Michelle Andrews.
Joseph Kent Andrews.
Rowan Evan Atwell.
Madeline Aaron Nero.
Layla Bayrich.
Eleanor Ruth Badgett.
Jason Wayne Baldwin II.
Gavin Mitchell Ballard.
Juliet Balalani.
Tyler Anthony Banks.
Derek Fox Banta.
Denny Kelsey Barcinas.
Grace Ann Barnett.
Kayla Anastasia Sammy Barrero.
Ethan Rye Barrett.
Claire Elizabeth Bowman.
Caitlin Renee Bain.
Aiden Michael Beach.
Allison Paulette Bejarano Esparza.
Joseph Isaiah Belcher.
Benjamin Noah Bellin.
Jemiah Lorraine Black.
Anna Penelope Bird Poland.
Aaron Janae Blunt.
Adam Frederick Blyberg.
Charles Carter Boggs.
Ellen Elizabeth Bohannon.
Justin Andrew Bowling.
Liam Caleb Boyd.
Jackson Carter Brooking.
Dylan J. Brenniger.
Jamirion Rashad Brown.
Landon Alexander Brown.
Boris Alexander Buckite.
Sergey Mikhail Buckite.
Ryden Matthew Buffington.
Abigail Marie Bunch.
Addison Luis Burkhart.
Matthew Alexander Burns.
David McKinnon Butler.
Luke Thomas Bazard.
Detasia Deshawn Bird.
William Brian Combs.
Hannah Elizabeth Campbell.
Jasenia Candelaria Guzman.
Lily Aline Cardosa,
Andrew Davison Carlos.
Victor Carmona,
Jerica Renee Carpenter.
Bella Claire Carter,
Aaron Ann Cassini.
Eric Cassini,
Joseph Manuel Castillo Mendez.
Dylan Jacob Childers,
Tessa Kathleen Childress.
Gabriella Noel Shinago,
Annika Lynn Church.
Paige Laniel Clark,
Grant Charles Clifford.
Cooper Allen Corin,
Sophia Cole.
Jacob Brandon Colwell,
Almarie Lachey Connor.
Carmen Page Coomer,
Hugh Emmett Coons.
Grant Dixon Copeland,
Jesus Cordova.
Leo Enrique Condova Orozco,
Emily Cornett.
Omar Camarino Carrera Avalos,
Marin Elizabeth Cottle.
Sydney Kaylin Couch,
Morgan Olivia Covey.
Teon Cowan,
Ian Bryant Cowan.
Faith Trinity Cross,
Catherine Elizabeth Cup.
Emma Renee Davis,
Arabella Sky Davison.
Jonathan De La Rosa Soriano,
Audrey Fiona Kudakopoli Damon.
Isaiah Anak Deroy,
Saroja Dakal.
Sanat Darwad,
Luke Stephen Diaz.
Iranza Diaz Cavado,
Reese Franklin Dick.
Brian Diodone,
Grace Ann DiNardo.
Dulce Dominguez,
Mia Isabella Dodson.
Catherine Dubon,
Whitney Danita Doyle.
Mason Elizabeth Duncan,
Samantha Ann Dukes.
Zaina Durrani,
Malia Jolie Dunn.
Eleanor Dyer,
Ethan Madden Dial.
Constant Edwards,
Eliza Clark Ekman.
Brianna Rose Eckelman,
Jacob Hollingsworth L.
Sawyer Grace Ellis,
Amari Tyson Ellington.
Kennedy Jade Irby,
Matthew Allen Embry.
Jada Fain,
Daniel Allen Esquivel.
Isabella Hamilton Falk,
Aaron Thomas Falk.
Maggie Ferguson,
Margaret Hamlin Fiscus.
Maxwell Bradley Pfister,
Arthur Milo Flannery.
Jeremiah Prince Elijah,
Tamaya Denise Fogel.
Skyera Leila Fondren,
Kaylee Jade Fossier.
Elena Renee Fryman.
Nicholas Ryan Gabbard.
Melissa Stephanie Galvin Sanchez.
Jackson Scott Gann.
Isabella Jewel Garowski.
Amia Gayton Bennett.
Emerson Lily Gearsony.
Bivusha Kimire.
Justin Nasir Gill.
Jabari M. Gillespie.
Clara Madeline Gilpin.
Avash Giri.
Brianna Ray Godfrey.
Claire Elise Goki.
Taylor Marie Goldthorpe.
Carlos Yair Gonzalez.
Manuel Enrique Gonzalez Vega.
Spencer Michael Good Culture.
Campbell James Gorman.
Elijah James Gray.
Gabriel Thomas Green.
Kennedy Elise Green.
Samrat Gurong.
Anisha Gurum.
Amari Lachey Hagans.
Elena Ellen Goot.
Brendan Lane Haight.
Abigail Brooke Hager.
Akari Lillian Demi Hale.
Georgia Lovejoy Hale.
Parker Devon Hall.
Arissa May Hall.
Matthew Scott Hanslick.
Ghazal Hamad.
Hannah Renee Haney.
Michael Allen Hanslick.
Kyle Sheldon Hart.
Zahara Hangi.
Travis Eugene Haskins Jr.
Spencer Brendan Hash.
Simone Jolie Hawkins.
Cody Douglas Henderson.
Shaman Natel Hayes.
Ella Marie Henderson.
Dwayne Henderson Jr.
Kennedy Jane Gordon Herring.
Kanye Henderson.
Marquise Miquan Hill Jr.
Thomas Alexander Herring.
Courtney Renee Hogue.
Rosa Maria Moore Hislop.
Jude Ellis Holder.
Lauren Aspen Holbrook.
Dylan Joris Holt.
Ian Asher Holt.
Caroline Holloway Host.
Addison Monroe Huffman.
Sarah Jane Nicole Miller Humlong.
Garrett Allen Hunt.
Adrienne Reese Ingram.
Jafet Irambona.
Kylie Marie Eisen.
Jack Lawrence Johnson.
Felipe Jaimez Puebla.
Rihanna Johnson.
Kiana Ashanti Johnson.
Tyra McFarland Jones.
Janabri Eudosha Jones.
Yasmin Juarez.
Robert Megan Joseph.
Mackenzie Anna Kalin.
Evangelina Madonna Paris Giraffe.
Gabrielle Conley Pora Kaufman.
Shanique Katyav.
Thomas Michael Keck.
Vivian Irene Kazee.
Grayson Noah Kemplin.
Cole Thomas Kemper.
Skylar Pash Kohler.
Alexis Faith King.
Anna Kovaleva.
Carson Boyd Kitts.
Natalie Marie Lake.
Emma Josephine Kraus.
Jacob Thomas Lane.
Sarah Jane Lambert.
Elliot Scott Lavender Jr.
Christopher Andrew Lasher.
Caleb Franklin Lawson.
Londrea Corinne Lavizio.
Palmer Middleton Lee.
Colby Michael Lawson.
Lisbeth Leva Lopez.
Jonathan Sungju Lee.
Cohen Haoyulin.
Nicholas Peter Lentz.
Emma Catherine Long.
Lillian Claire Lau.
Larissa Marie Long.
Carrick Maxwell Lloyd.
Sophia Grace Lopiccolo.
Bailey Faith Locker.
Sylvia Lokunku.
Edgar Lopez.
Princess Letette.
Gerardo Lucero Jr.
Zachary John McGillivray.
Isadora Lagunez Vaughn.
Benjamin Alexander Madison.
Shelby Leanne Lynch.
Zane Kenton Maffett.
Ambria Shea Mack.
Ruth Malu Wangui.
Sincere Rayshawn Madison.
Owen David Manley.
Susan Maldonado Lopez.
Darian Lavon Marshall.
Andrew Daniel Mangus.
Shanae Leanne Martin.
Blake Edward Mans.
Joseph Matthew Martinez.
Edwin Uriel Marin Rendon.
Jeffrey Thomas Massengale.
Alexis Jose Martinez.
Joangelis Nicole Matas Vazquez.
Jason Martinez Gonzalez.
Laura Grace Emmerich May.
Zyshawn Mays.
Elvin Mayo Otome.
Robert Michael Mays.
Shadrach Mbui.
Lajoantene Nikentriel McCowan.
Zane Mahiuddin McCoy.
Alice Eileen McGavran.
Bryson McKee.
Aiden Alexander McKenzie.
Amelia Rose McKinney.
Miles Thomas Megan.
Grace Marie Melton.
Jonathan Mendez Barcenas.
Lordina Mensa.
Xander Stephen Metz.
Mihail Nikolov Mihailov.
Jackson Lane Millard.
Kyra Rose Miller.
Carolyn Grace Mitchell.
Abigail Marie Mitchell.
Shaquille Jarmaine Marquise Mitchell.
Case Landon Mitchell.
Imani Ebalamabwe Myombi.
Adrian Mlambi.
Tyra Laureen Monger.
Holland Isabel Mofield Boswell.
Marky Lane Moore.
Max Montgomery.
Jose Alberto Moreno Para.
Samuel Keith Moore.
Dijon Morrison White.
Hannah Marie Morris.
Aliyah Mukeba.
Catherine Adnan Musharbish.
Ethan Michael Mullins.
Alan Aiden Mulalik.
Avery Hayes Nelson.
Jaden Omari Murray.
Kriti Nopani.
Gurav Nepal.
Michaela Niebuhr Mauricio.
Elaine Wynn.
Christian Javier Ochoa Garcia.
Bo Proctor Norton.
Shay Louise Olkowski.
Colton Andrew Oping.
Christian Ortega Martinez.
Kennedy Marie Onan.
Oscar De Jesus Pacheco Flores.
Faith Shinlong Osborne.
Anne Elise Page.
Tanya Aurora Pacheco Reyes.
Shannon Alina Paez.
Trevez Lee Page.
Maria Simeonova Pamukova.
Kobe Joseph Smiley Parker.
Chitise Alvin Dean Parks.
Devanshi Patel.
Graceland Olivia Pearson.
Garrett Aiden Peebler.
Andrew Winter Peterson.
Genesis Nairobi Pena Lozada.
Elliot Camille Pennell.
Billy James Pennington.
Isaac Lorenzo Perry Farr.
Tanya Asia Pettis.
Israel James Payton Jr.
Wendy Isabeth Pio Contreras.
Elodie Veronica O'Shea Petard.
Sharia Pocarol.
Lucy Seeping Porter.
Abigail Grace Powell.
Clayton David Price.
Tommen Preston Price.
Virginia Lane Price.
Genesis Pritchett.
Zachary Owen Rader.
Renee Elizabeth Ragland.
Lucas Bryce Ramsey.
Caitlin Ann Rallencotter.
Ileana Marie Reyes.
Julio Cesar Razo Elizalde.
Madison Ritchie.
Denasia Lachey Roberts.
Demetria Denise Jean Robertson.
Ashlyn Olivia Rockwell.
Taylor Leanne Rode.
Cynthia Lisbeth Rodriguez.
Odalis Rodriguez Castrione.
Gabriela Rebecca Rundell.
Connor Michael Rose.
Jaden Evan Rose.
Zachary Thomas Rossi.
Heaven Adriana Rowland.
Parker Scott Rowland.
Catherine Ann Racavina.
Keith Dante Russell.
Lakeisha Renee Russell.
Anaya Niel Samuels.
Giancarlos Yvonne Sanchez.
Alejandro Sanchez Perez.
Jonathan Sanchez Perez.
Jaelise Enid Santiago.
Owen Parker Teeter Schmidt.
Joseph Cade Schneider.
Michael Kane Schooley.
Ellie Sophia Scorsone Stovall.
Ethan Lane Sketchfield.
Emily Madison Seal.
Jaden Kamal Lamar Searcy.
Kiwan Malik Sigar.
Meka Shishmo.
Arnav Sharma.
Jalen Aton Shepard.
Zach Shandera.
Alcedo Benjamin Lee Silimperi.
Ryan Maxwell Sigler.
Cameron Sims.
Arvin Silwall.
Griffin Bonzo Sims.
Christian Manning Sims.
Evelyn Catherine Grace Sizemore.
Simran Singh.
Jordan Maddox Smith.
Juliana Nicole Smith.
Kendall Omre Smith.
Simone Rochelle Smith.
Melanie Lacey Smith.
Emma Ty Snyder.
Liam Michael Snyder.
Haley Victoria Sparks.
Mallory Ann Sparks.
Kelly Elizabeth Spurlock.
Katie Nicole Stamper.
Davin J. Steele.
Brianna Nicole Stone.
William Christopher Stone.
Javante Stuckey.
Belatech Marie Circle.
Shamarika Tamang.
Shervin Tagizadeh.
Brian Tavia Castellana.
Isabella Jaden Talby.
Catherine Elizabeth Taylor.
Christopher Scott Taylor Jr.
Christian Pena.
Michael Ephraim Taylor Jr.
Canon Stephen Thacker.
Jennifer Tepetate Pena.
Lauren Elizabeth Thomas.
Evan Elise Thomas.
Robert Muncie Thompson III.
Paris Lorraine Thomas.
Zoe Grace Tinch.
Margaret Grace Cox Tino.
Caleb Glenn Torres.
Zachary J. William Trehan.
Joshua David Tudor.
Shadiamond Domine Tullo.
Elliot McCreary Toon.
Mason Lee Upton.
Alexandria Uribe.
Jacob Alexander Vanderstein.
Alejandra Veged Roman.
John Patrick Venatazzi.
Jake Pearson Walters.
Gavin Knight Boris.
Julia Grace Walton.
Elizabeth Ann Walton.
Isabella Anna Webb.
Margaret Scott Weaver.
Isabeth Scott Webster.
Thomas Marion Webb.
Devin Marie West.
Nadiva Weiss.
Brendan Christian Wicker.
Caroline Armstrong West.
Haley Marie Wilkerson.
Andrew Thomas Westerman.
Kennedy Leanne Williams.
Molly Grace Randall Wilcoxon.
Ridley Holden Wills.
Samaj Denise Wilkinson.
Macy Lynn Wilson.
Marcus James Williams.
Kevin Carl Woodford IV.
Connor David Alexander Wilson.
Jerome Lee Woodson, Jr.
Duncan Cole Wingfield.
Abigail Emery Wright.
Montavious Woods.
William Alexander Yance.
Blake Allen Wright.
Gerald James Young.
Chase Finley Young. Emma Angel Zent.
Will the class please stand? Class of 2022, by the authority invested in me by the Fayette County Board of Education, I hereby declare that you are graduates of Henry Clay High School. Please move your tassels to the left to confirm you have completed the program of studies at Henry Clay High School. I just want to tell you one last time, thank you for being the best. I am honored to be your principal. Continue to be wise, be kind, and be happy. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Now at this time, I would like to introduce graduating senior Parker Hall.
Thank you. Oh my God, it just hit me. A great musician once said, "There's nothing I really wanted to do in life that I wasn't able to get good at. That's my skill. I'm not really specifically talented at anything except for the ability to learn." If you identify with this statement, congratulations, you have at least one ability in common with Kanye West. Good morning, I'm Parker Hall, and you all clicked a circle beside my name on a Google form enough times to get me up here. But next time you refer to me, you'll probably just say, "Oh, we went to high school together." First off, I want to congratulate every graduate in this room simply for being here. Partially because, hey, you didn't drop out, but also because we have the amazing opportunity to be here together on these slightly uncomfortable seats in Rupp Arena. Because, I don't know if you knew, but there was a 2-year-long global pandemic. Some may call it an extended spring break that sort of just got in the way of a few things, large gatherings included. We survived a pandemic, yay, congrats. Put it on a t-shirt. But now what? Now that all the diplomas are handed out, The final grades are submitted and the ACT test scores no longer matter. The microwaves have all been thrown. The sports seasons are over. The devious licks are banned. And how popular you were is irrelevant. Who are you? We are determined, engaged, valued, inspired, leaders, and successful. But you know that already. And if you didn't, where have you been every morning for the past 4 years? I didn't ask who we were as Henry Clay students. I asked, who are you? Honestly, I'm not expecting you to know. I'm not expecting you to have an answer, but I'm expecting you to have the drive to find out. When you step out of these doors, all eyes will be on you, on us. Our real journey starts now. We've been gifted the ability to learn, to get good at anything. What will you use it for? What will you do? What will you create? What will you leave behind? Who are you? Blue Devils? Go find out. Thank you. To close this ceremony today, a quartet representing our orchestra will play My Old Kentucky Home before the Henry Clay class of 2022 leaves the arena.